You've just received your new amplifier from the Car Audio Centre, hopefully remembering to order your wiring kit. I'm now going to take you through some of the basic features and functions of the amplifier and also the wiring kit. Here we have the Inphase IPA601. This is a 2-stroke 1-channel amplifier. On one side of the amplifier we have the power, the remote, the ground, we have the fuse, and we also have the speaker terminals. As it's a 2-stroke 1-channel amplifier, you'll have 4 independent speaker terminals. Power is 12 volt, which runs directly from the battery of the car and usually will carry an inline fuse on the power line. The remote connects directly to the back of the head unit. This is the cable that turns the amplifier on and off with the stereo in the car. The ground is your earth. This is to be earthed to a strong metal point within the boot of the car. The speaker terminals are marked positive and negative. When wiring in a stereo mode, i.e. 2 speakers, you'll be sure to have positive, minus, making sure that these run correctly with the speakers. Okay, I'm now going to take you through some of the basic features of the amplifier from the dials that you'll find on the side of it. These dials will make a lot more sense to you once you've installed the amplifier into your car. The first dial you'll find is the level control, which is essentially the volume. It's always a good idea to have this set to minimum when you first install the amplifier. The second dial is what we call the subsonic filter. Now this helps the amplifier be more efficient by not letting it drop below a certain frequency and wasting power on frequencies that we won't be able to hear in the car. Third dial is the bass boost circuit. Essentially, again, this is just a volume control used when wiring the amplifier in a single channel mode on a subwoofer. It's always a good idea to leave this set to a minimum when first installing the amplifier. Next we have the crossover. We have the low pass filter, high pass filter, and also the crossover switch. When you're installing the amplifier in the car to power up a subwoofer, you'll flick the switch to low pass filter. You then have the crossover setting from 50 Hz to 250 Hz. This is the frequency at which you'll be listening to your bass. Again, once it's in the car, you'll be able to set this up to the optimum frequency. If you are using the amplifier in a 2-channel mode, stereo, powering up say 6x9s on the rear shelf, you would flick the switch to either full, which is a full range signal, stereo, which will give you bass, mids and tops, or if you've already got enough bass, you could flick it to high pass. Now this will stop your 6x9s playing any bass whatsoever. The frequency for the high pass is controlled with this dial. Finally, we have our RCA line out. The RCA line in comes from the head unit that brings the music in. This is for amplifier linking, so if you only have one RCA pre-out on your head unit, you would be able to link another amplifier using this. Okay, I'm going to take you through some of the basic components that you should find within a amplifier wiring kit. This is your base model from Juice, the JW1000. This will work up to a 1000 watt amplifier. First of all, you have the power cable, which is usually red. All cables supplied within the wiring kit are a standard 5 meters long. This is enough to accommodate most cars up to Vauxhall Vectra size. Within the basic amp wiring kit, you'll have an inline blade fuse like that. Within the black housing will hold your blade fuse, which can be pulled out and changed should it need so. Next in the kit you'll have the earth cable. This is connected to the ground or the negative of the amplifier and earthed in the boot of the car. Now when earthing an amplifier in the boot of the car, it's always a good idea to find a strong piece of metal and then rub the bodywork back to the bare metal. This will ensure a good strong connection. Also within the kit you will find a thin blue wire, which is your remote cable. This attaches to the back of the head unit. Usually it will say Pecan or REM, and the other end will attach to the REM part of your amplifier. Now this is a cable that turns the amplifier on and off. Just connecting the power cable alone will not turn your amplifier on. Next cable that you'll find within your amp wiring kit is your phono leads or RCA. Again, these are a standard 5 meters long. These will plug into the outputs of the head unit and the inputs of your amplifier. These carry the audio signal, so without these in, you'll have no sound. And finally, within this amp wiring kit, you'll also receive some speaker cable. Obviously, this is used from the speaker terminals on the amplifier and taken to the terminals of your speaker, should it be a subwoofer or a full range speaker. Also within our base kit, we have some black plastic cowling which can be used to hide any unsightly cables in the boot once the amplifier has been installed.